Alright, so for our inaugural cooking video, we have Sous Chef Evan and Sous Chef Nathan. Alright, what's the first thing we do when we start to cook?
Hashtag awkward.
We need to clean.
Yes, what are we going to clean first?
IDK.
The area.
The area is good, but
Tools?
our tools.
Yes,
Our hands, exactly. So let's walk over here. Get the fork out of there. And we're going to clean our hands. Well, apparently we need to fill up the soap dispenser, huh?
Apparently.
Yep.
Okay, so wash your hands really good.
Yeah.
Sure.
I can get a little bit more out of there.
Okay, so for our first video, we're going to be making applesauce. My boys love this stuff. It's easy to make. You can see the ingredients are right here. Got some brown sugar, some white sugar. We got a little bit of lemon juice, cinnamon, a little bit of honey, and then a bag of apples. So we're going to start out coring apples. Usually I do this directly into the trash, but figured I'd spare you the sight of a trash can with whatever in it. So we cut these into quarters. There's no need to wash them because we're just going to cut the skins off of them. So this is a skin off applesauce. Take a little paring knife, work our way around the edge. Try and keep this tight so that we end up with only a thin skin coming out. Not a big fan of waste of any kind, so we keep it tight there. And then Sous Chef Evan will come over with the chopper and turn that into small bits. So this is a Pampered Chef. Let me see this real quick, Evan. It's a Pampered Chef blade. What this does, it comes down, exposes the blades, spins, and then does that again. And it works like a bunch of knives. Love this thing. Okay, just do it like 5 times. Let's see how it is.
Okay.
What do you think?
It's sticking to the blades.
How big are the pieces?
This big.
Kind of big.
Sticking to the pieces are sticking to it.
Okay, go ahead and lift it up. Let's see how big they are.
There's one stuck.
That's probably good. That's about the size that we want. Okay, so make a little pile of those off to the side, and then we'll chop another one.
Okay.
And you can slam on that thing.
Okay, like this.
Yep. Only do about 5, though.
Okay. I think I did about 5. Sure.
Okay, that's good enough. All right. Okay, there's another one for you.
Thank you. There we go.
Okay, and there we have one apple down. Now this could be done with a corer. It'll be a lot quicker, but I'm not a big fan of those because they do tend to leave a little bit of what do they call this, around the seeds in there. I like doing it by hand, make sure that I've got every little hard piece out of there. So that's it. You do that for all the apples in the bag, and we'll come back in a few minutes. Okay, we're back. We've finished coring and peeling the apples. As you can see, there's not a lot of waste here. Sous Chef Evan and I ended up finding out that we liked the the peels. The only peels we didn't eat were from this old apple, which brings me to the point that this is a really good way of using old apples. If you got them sitting around and they're starting to get a little bit maybe rubbery, go ahead and do this to them. Turn them into applesauce. They taste great. Beats throwing them out. Anyway, that doesn't taste so good. I did try one. Not so good. But the rest of them, Evan and I finished off an entire bag. So, yeah, I think we got our daily fiber quota. So we're done with that. Next thing is we have this knife that we've been using. And if you care about your knives, rinse them off after you're done with them, because the acids in any fruit, or, well, I guess primarily fruit, is going to eat away at that edge. It's essentially chemically etching that fine edge away. So rinse it off, set it aside, and you can wash it later. Lastly, we have here the applesauce. So I think it's a 4/4, so you can see there's a lot of apple there. It's going to take a while to cook down, but we'll go ahead and add our ingredients here in just a minute. Alright, we're back. We're going to start putting our ingredients in with the apples. We used Royal Gala apples, which are naturally kind of sweet. I did pull a couple of sugars here. We're not going to use both of them. I think we're just going to go with the brown sugar. Adds a nice flavor to it. So let's get started. Sous Chef Nathan, would you please hand me the honey? Thank you. Okay, we do go by feel, so we're just going to kind of spooge a little honey on there. Tastes good. Yeah, it's a lot, but we got a lot of apples in there, so we're good with that. All right, Sous Chef Nathan, the cinnamon, please. All right. We don't have a lot of cinnamon left, but you know what?
It should be enough.
Yeah, it should be enough.
YOLO.
YOLO, exactly.
You have no
All
idea
right,
what
we'll
it
put that on there.
You only live once.
I do know what it means. Okay, so you can't go wrong with cinnamon. So a lot on there is good. A little bit on there is good. More is even better. So we will try that much for now, and if we decide later after tasting a little bit that we need more in there, we can put it in. Nathan, the lemon, please. Thank you. Lemon, I believe, adds a little bit of tartness to it, and also I think helps preserve the apples, keeps them from browning. Hopefully when we're done, the applesauce won't turn really brown except from the cinnamon. Lastly, Nathan, the brown sugar, please. Thank you. Eyeballing, again, I decided that with this many apples, we're going to go with about a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Typically brown sugar, you pack it, and that's how you measure brown sugar. There we go, packed. Put it in there. It might be too sweet, I honestly don't know, but hey, it's for me. Yep, it's for me and for kids, and we all like it sweet.
Sweet.
All right, last thing we're going to do is we're going to take this over to the sink and add some water. And what I'm looking for here is I'm going to put water into it until I just start to see it up around the apple top. There we go. That should be enough. If we find out later that it's not enough, and actually now I'm thinking that it may not be, but we can add more water later. No big deal. Okay, we're going to turn on the stove. I set it up pretty high because I want this to get to a boil pretty quickly. And then we're going to mash it with another Pampered Chef device. Ta-da! I'm not a Pampered Chef salesperson or anything, but I do love the stuff that they use or that they sell. This is a kind of a 5-star plastic blade, so it's safe for your Teflon coated pots and pans, and with the 5 blades on there, makes short work of chopping this up. So we're just going to set that on there for a little bit and let that cook until it's at a basically a boil, kind of a popping boil, and then we'll turn down the heat a little bit, let it simmer for 10 to 15 minutes and start mashing at it. And as the apples get softer, we're going to keep mashing until we get it down to an applesauce consistency. That's it for now. Okay, we're back. You can see that we got a little bit of a boil going on here, which is good. It's getting those apples cooked down, getting them soft. Press this down, start chopping a little bit. So one of the reasons why I used that other blade was that it turns the apple chunks into tinier chunks. Some recipes I've seen, they call for cutting apples into like quarters and then boiling them down. I just think that's going to take a long time because you got to get that apple heated all the way through before it starts breaking down the connective material that holds it together. So smaller chunks means that we get it boiling quicker and cooked all the way through quicker. So still feeling pretty firm. So we will go back. I'm going to reduce the heat a little bit. Cooking with gas. Got that flame on it. Let's drop it back a little bit. Looks Looks like a 4 will take it. Still plenty hot to cook, but doesn't put us into the rolling boil category. Okay. Do a semi-cover. It's smelling good, I can tell you that. Smelling good. Okay, back again. It's been a couple minutes later. I actually had to turn the heat down to 2. Looks like it's probably about where I want it, maybe a little bit more, but kept coming up to a kind of a rolling boil, and I definitely don't want that. A little piece flew out as I was mashing it up, and I took a taste of it. Decided I need a little bit more cinnamon, so I did put that in there, and actually a little bit more sugar. Applesauce should be sweet, so I'll put a little bit of white sugar in there, and mash that in, make sure it gets nice and mixed. And the apples are still pretty chunky. They haven't softened up. It's quite a bit of water. I think we'll see how it goes in the end if I put too much water in. Definitely would not go over what I put in there, at least not from what I'm seeing so far. These chunks are now floating in water. Mostly. We'll see what happens once they get rendered down a little bit from the evaporation, and see where we end up. Back in a bit. Okay, just checking back, seeing how they're doing. Let's go ahead and, ooh, look at that. Mash them up a little bit. Looks like 2.5 is the number that we want to be at. Alright. I'll check them back again soon. Okay, we're back again. We've been cooking for pretty close to an hour now, and things are starting to look applesaucey. So we're chopping this up, looking pretty good. Just work our way around there, breaking these chunks up into smaller and smaller pieces. Just progressively breaking it all down. And actually, now that we've got it down to this, I'm thinking that the amount of water I used was a-okay. So that is pretty good. Doesn't look like it's too much or too little. Okay, we'll let it go a little bit longer, and hopefully in the next 20 minutes we'll be done. Bye for now. Okay, we're looking pretty good. This is almost the consistency that we want it. Got tiny little chunks of apple. We'll just keep breaking it down. You can see most of the liquid has evaporated now. Got a nice consistency there. This is good to eat straight. It's good to eat warm, cold. It's great on ice cream, actually. Vanilla ice cream adds a nice flavor to it and texture. We're actually going to have it tomorrow with some cinnamon bread from Ikeda's. Can't wait to have that. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Let's try a little sippy here. Tasty. I like it. Tastes good. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.